I'm Nala Ray. I am the Ahego Queen.
What is the, how's it pronounced?
Ahego. The cum face, basically.
Lord have mercy.
You will?
Okay. That's the other one. That's the other one. Okay.
I'm dominant.
You're dominant?
Yes. I'm
What?
daddy.
You're daddy.
Uh-huh.
Whoa, wait, show the tattoo to the camera right here.
It just says daddy. Yeah.
Did that hurt? Daddy.
I'm daddy. I fuck girls with strap-ons. This is what makes me more dominant. I would fuck a guy, but they're too scared.
Do you date men or women?
Oh, I'm so attracted to men. Like, I need dick. Like, when I'm drunk, like women. When I get drunk, it's like titties. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. It's really hard for me to take advice from people that I don't respect, and I don't respect a lot of people.
Have you been diagnosed with?
No, and
like
I really
BPD
don't think
or-
I should go to the doctor to be like,
Yeah, you're probably
told
fine.
I'm
And when you say you're dominant, do you mean, what are we talking here?
female. I feel like my masculine energy is higher than most men's masculine energy. Like, even in bed, I would literally fuck you until you were doubting your sexuality. I also tried someone who did what I did, and I turned them basically gay. So I fucked him until he became gay or something. I swear to God. You motherfucker. Well, listen, I'm not trying to hurt anybody.
Okay.
I just fuck you and fuck you. I'm sorry, lay you and lay you until, you know, like you're like, oh my God, I have no more cum inside my body anymore. The fuck is wrong with this lady? Like, you'll never want to cheat on me. I love cheating. It's actually my biggest fantasy.
What the hell with all this?
It's not that fucking difficult. You're with someone or they're with someone. I don't even have to be with someone, but if you're with someone and you have a girl, I'm gonna sit on your fucking dick and be like, isn't my pussy tighter? Isn't it better? Isn't that just hot? I'm a competition in myself. Like, I just have to.
Jesus Christ. Hello there, Chad. It's been a while. I needed to power up my engines, rev up my engines for this sort of thing that we're about to experience in the stream. And what's better than the intro that exemplifies cringe? Believe it or not, this creature that you have seen before you is 21 years old. I couldn't believe it myself, but apparently she is. I don't know what you Americans do with your teenagers in their formative years that they grow up into something like this. But you know, I support sex workers. I support sex work. Do what you want with your body. It's your choice. I don't have to like it. I don't have to like the final result of it. But yeah, it is what it is. That's a 21-year-old. It's been a ride. It's been a ride, a fun, albeit rough ride for the last, like, how long haven't I been streaming? Like a month? 2 months? Something like that? I lost track of it. Either way, I'm back to irregular streaming. Don't know how long that's gonna last because I have goals. My trip, especially Otakon, has motivated me to do things for myself, to do extra things for myself, things that I haven't done before. And since I'm of a particular age, I don't have much time to do so. Due to work obligations, family obligations, all that kind of stuff. So I need to make sure I have things scheduled. And speaking of scheduling, let me get some scheduled music up because it's kind of quiet in here. Hold up. What's a good track for today? I think Miami Nights is pretty chill. Let's go with that. Miami Nights it is. So you're probably wondering, what is this stream about? Well, this is a chill stream. I'm supposed to be still 1 day away on vacation. I was supposed to be back to activities, the full activities, whatever they may be, on the 14th. But today is the 13th, and I was hankering for a stream because a lot of things have been going on. And the longer I don't stream, the longer new things pile up. Things which I feel I have an obligation, like a self-imposed obligation to talk about. And there has been a lot during the last month. I might talk about a bit about it. like in mention or something like that, but today's stream is about something else. Today's stream is about my vacation and what I actually did, and how it relates to VTubers, because I think you guys want to know how the VTuber circuit looks within the convention circuit. I sadly haven't been able to go to Anime Expo this year, but I did manage to go to Oracon. Half business, half pleasure. AX would have probably been a lot better for that, but that's for next year. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes, how that scheduling goes. Might go to Offkai, the next Offkai if that's scheduled next year too, but that's gonna be purely for leisure, because I personally have no business with VTubers, as all of this is my hobby. But yeah, let's get right into the stories. Like, I have a lot of stories. I have a lot of stories to tell, so where to begin with all of this? Well, you're probably expecting me to get right into the meat of things and talk about these very funny threats that I have received as I was enjoying my convention in DC, but that's for a bit later, because I have some prelude when it comes to VTubers and how they're presented on during the conventions. AX specifically, I talked to a lot of people that attended AX. They told me how it looked like compared to the other year that I did manage to attend, and I'm happy to report that VTubers are getting more popular. Well, some of you might think that's a bad thing, because more normies are gonna get into this hobby and they're gonna go back to Twitter. They're gonna complain about things that have nothing to do with them. Things that they don't actually engage in because they're like casual VTuber fans. They would be complaining about those things, but you know, more fans of VTubers usually means also more VTubers coming in, because you know the treasure chest is very big, and when you open it, there's a lot of shiny things in it, and those shiny things are very attractive to people, to normies as well. You had a lot of normies getting into the hobby and then complaining about things they don't like and wanting them out of the hobby. But as I was saying, AX was pretty big when it comes to VTubers this year. There have been a lot more cosplayers going around. There has been a lot more presence in terms of industry participation. We're talking about Shoujo, we're talking about Hololive, we're talking about some Nijisanji presence, we're talking about Face Connect presence, and we're also talking about Idol presence. So all of these companies were present in some form or fashion at the venue at X. Some in less official capacity, some in more official capacity, but either way, they are there. And popularity of VTubers in the convention circuit is growing, which to me personally, I think that's a good thing. I think it's nice to see cosplayers. I think it's nice to see more VTuber artists get involved in the convention circuit, both as industry participants as well as sellers. You can get a lot of good VTuber merch at these conventions these days. Body pillows, keychains, standees, what have you. Whatever weeb merch you can think of, it probably exists for your favorite popular VTuber. Any Kuri cosplayers? No, I would kill myself if I saw a Kuri cosplayer. Out of shame, and I would probably delete all of my online presence if I ever saw a Kuri cosplayer. That's a bit over the line. I know, to be serious, no. That will be the end of it once I ever see a Kuri cosplayer going around. But you'll be happy to know, my eyes at AX report to me that the only V-shoujo that had a prominent cosplayer presence was Iron Mouse. People love to cosplay Iron Mouse. Everyone else, when it comes to V-shoujo, when cosplayer communities is kind of forgotten. And I can say the same thing for Otakon as well. I haven't seen... I've gone through like all days of Otakon, like all 3 days. I've been to a lot of cosplay shoots during it. I only took very bad photographs of the Niji-Sanji ones, because that's the only ones I managed to squeeze my way into. There was a lot of traffic there to those. And yeah, when it comes to cosplay representation, Bishoujo's Iron Mouse is like the one and only prominent ones. I haven't seen any Henya cosplayers at Otakon, unfortunately. I don't know if there have been any at AX. The people that did go didn't tell me about it. I imagine, considering how big AX is on its own, there were probably at least 1 or 2. I'm just, spitballing, making assumptions based just on the size and the attendance of the biggest convention in North America. I imagine that was the case. And yeah, for the casual attendee of AX, I imagine it was hell, considering all of these lines. But when you're part of the industry, when you're part of the press, you can bypass all of those. You get your own private entrance from like 3 different points at the convention center. You can bypass all of these lines and then just laugh at people from a higher altitude on the 2nd floor as they stand in line, not only to get into the convention venue, but also inside of it. I've been getting reports that AX also had lines inside of it, which is usually not the case. Usually the lines just get broken up inside of the convention itself, and people just go around doing their own things, going to booths, what have you. But this time there was so many people there, they had to form lines inside the convention itself, which is not optimal for your enjoyment of any kind of convention, much less an anime convention where there's so many things to see and only a limited time to see it. So not a very good thing. I don't know how they're gonna solve this problem next year. They probably won't, because it's just been getting worse every single time. But yeah, that's VTuber presence at AX, and once again it's increasing. Happy to report that it is. And I had a more personal experience at Otakon, which is something I will show to you guys. I will show you some of the very few badly taken photos, because my phone is old as hell and it's pretty broken up. It has issues of the technical nature within it, like there's a constant glare inside of the part that actually does take the photo, inside the lens. And I really need to replace this this phone, or just get a proper camera for photographing stuff, because I think VTubers and stuff like that actually deserve it. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be talking about mostly today. Otakon and what I've seen at Otakon. Well, I've seen a lot. First of all, I've seen a lot of porn at Otakon, which is also a good thing. I did my regular update about lolicon being quote-unquote illegal in the United States. There was even more loli content to be sold this time at the convention. A lot of VTuber stuff too. VTubers have gotten to the point where their own category on at conventions when it comes to like doujinshi resellers. There's these, like, how many dudes are there? Like, you see them like almost every single year at Otakon, at least. There's this old dude. I think he's like around 50 or 50 plus at this point, which is funny. But the guy has clear passion for the things that he does, which I respect. I want to be this 50-plus-year-old eventually that sells lolicon porn at conventions to people. So yeah, VTubers were their own category within those doujinshi resellers. There was a lot of it, and I mean a lot of it. I could barely lift the whole load of books they had on sale there. There's so many. Like, I can't give you a visual aid of it. I did photograph a few of those, which I'm gonna show you later on Twitter because I haven't prepared them for the stream. Such is the case of me and preparing for these sorts of things. I just don't do it very well. I'm a very bad streamer, chat. I don't prepare. At least I'm never late, like some VTubers are. But yeah, before I meander, before I go on a tangent about shit, chat, can you guess which is the most popular VTuber when it comes to fan-made porn? I wonder if you can guess. Out of any popular VTubers, Japanese and otherwise, I wonder if you can guess which one of these is the most popular and would get the most participation. I already see a proper answer. Yeah, Marine. It's Marine, hands down. Out of all of the books available at this doujinshi reseller, Marine had like 12 books, like 12 unique books alone. There was some Louis stuff. There was a lot of Noel stuff. At least 4 books of Noel, which is understandable considering what Noel looks like and the content that she has. With Marine, it's a lot more understandable, I think. I did grab myself one book of Marine, one that I have previously read online. I think the purchase was very worth it, and it's currently one of my prized collections. I didn't even take it out of the packaging. It's never gonna be opened. It's gonna be in mint condition, even though it was previously packaged, you know. And probably some people have laid their hands on this particular book. I think I'll link you what book I mean in the chat, so just give me a moment. Linking porn on YouTube is weird, but I'll link it anyway. I mean, they can do whatever they want. Whoever is in charge of YouTube nowadays, what's his face? Neil, Earl, Carl, Jeffrey, I don't fucking know. I don't care, Neil. Everyone likes porn. YouTube should like porn too, Neil. Get some porn advertisers on your platform, Neil. Hold up. Let me find that particular book that I'm talking about. I think I'll at least link the title so you guys can go and find it yourself. This is the particular one where Marine splits herself into like 4 distinct versions, all of them being different costumes of her, and then they have an orgy with Marine's pirate crew. Very good book. Very good book. Once again, prized possession. I think everyone should read it, and if possible, try to order it because the artist is so very good. Some of you might even know what I'm talking about. Okay, let me link you real quick. This is the title, you can go and look it up. Very easy to find. Yeah, that one is very good. It's super good. I think it even got translated into several languages by fans, which is always nice to see. But yeah, this is a very good book. You guys should go and look it up. But yeah, the porn tangent aside, this is part of what I've seen. This is part of what I'm proudful to share with you guys. It was a very nice experience at that doujin reseller. But that's of course not the only thing VTuber related I saw on there. You guys might be wondering what was the company that had the most presence at Otakon, at least. And you know, unsurprisingly, considering the age of the fans of that particular company, Niji Sanji Yen had the biggest presence on there. I saw so many Niji Sanji cosplayers. Most of them of the boys. There has been so many Mista cosplayers. I think Mista was dominating in terms of VTuber cosplayers at Otakon. Niji Sanji Yen in particular were so prominent during Otakon that they had 2 separate photo shoots. Like 2. Genshin Impact for comparison had like 3, I think, this year. And last year they had 4. 4 cosplay shoots just for for Genshin Impact alone. And last year Niji Sanji only had 1 cosplay shoot. But this time they had 2 whole cosplay shoots, which all lasted like an hour or more. And as you can imagine, a lot of Niji Sanji fans that were present that were cosplaying, at least to me, they looked, for the most part, either young adults, like someone in their young 20s or something like that, or just kids, teenagers. You could tell most from their height and facial features that they were young people. And let me tell you a really fun story about the Niji Sanji cosplay shoot I attended personally. Towering over everybody. I didn't even need to get into the front row in order to take pictures, in order to take these very bad pictures of the Niji Sanji cosplayers. And there were a lot of people upset about that, and as well as the other people that were just in front, you know. They had the best places to take photographs and yell at the cosplayers to strike poses and shit like that. Was right behind me, to the right side, stood, which is all the more funny if you know her story. There was a Finana cosplayer standing there, about a rather corpulent. Is that the best way to describe a person like that? A rather corpulent Finana cosplayer. And she was visibly upset about the fact that people were in front and just taking pictures, and she kept yelling, make some space, make some space, make some space, like every few minutes. Make some space, make some space. So she could, you know, probably squeeze in, which was probably not a good idea, because she would have taken she would have occupied so much space that other people behind her wouldn't be able to do the same thing that she was currently unable to do. And she just kept yelling, make some space, make some space, until the cosplay shoot was over. Which kind of, you know, this gives me an idea that some of these Twitter freaks that spread out on social media sometimes go outside, sometimes go to these conventions, and having no social intelligence whatsoever, they just spread out in front of crowds. And as you probably expect, she was promptly ignored by everybody. People were like looking behind for like a few seconds at her, and then they just turned back and kept making the photos. But yeah, make some space. Make some space for the very big Finana, for the very big fish, for the very big Finana bloatfish, yelling at the fortunate people in front of her. Surprisingly, this is another thing. Surprisingly, there was some Crisis cosplayers there too. I didn't expect that, but there were like 3 or 4. Like, if you aren't familiar with how cosplay shoots go at conventions, they usually are led by like 1 and 2 people, that call in specific type of cosplayers, like say a specific character or a specific theme for a cosplay, and then they all pose together for like a few seconds, and then they switch people. With VTuber cosplayers, it's usually by groups and by generations. So you had your Crisis cosplayers, you had your Luxian cosplayers, what have you. You had your Obsidia cosplayers, and so on and so forth. So there was a lot of interchanging going on. That's why these cosplay shoots usually last for like up to an hour, because there's so many people. Yeah, I wish the Finana cosplayer was yelling "Educate yourself" too, but Fate would not have it, and she didn't contribute to the meme. That would be funny if she did. But she did not, and that's sad. But you know, you can't have everything. Like, life doesn't always give you delicious lemons to make lemonade out of. And that was my encounter with Niji Sanji cosplayers, and I don't want to repeat that again, because it feels like I don't belong. Not just because I'm older than most people there. I could probably be the father of some of these kids there. But just because I'm just really not interested in Niji Sanji, and the fact there's some really rude people there, just trying to ruin the fun for everybody and just be as disruptive as possible is not my idea of fun. But a more important thing than Niji Sanji, I know. A much more important thing than Niji Sanji is Face Connect. Face Connect, which had a pretty good presence at Otakon. Haven't seen any Face Connect cosplayers, unfortunately, but have seen a lot of Face Connect fans over there, especially the ones going to Pippa's meet and greet. For comparison, to give you an idea of the scale of how many people came to see Pippa, last year when I was attending Anime Expo, and there was like a meet and greet with HoloLive VTubers, HoloEN VTubers. I think Gura, Risu, well, she's ID, but that doesn't matter. And I don't know who the third person was, I don't remember. But Gura and Risu were there. And the lines for the meet and greet were like you have to understand that the area for the meet and greet is like a rectangular shape. It's like the cuboid, that sort of thing. And the lines kind of bent back and forth around this shape, and they were pretty damn long, like 20, 30, 40, even more than that. And that's for and that's at Anime Expo for HoloLive. You do have to understand. In comparison, Pippa also got a very long queue. Pippa has a lot of fans. The whole meet and greet lasted like over 2 hours, I think. I didn't stay for the whole thing because I had other things to do. But Pippa had like at least 50 plus people come to see her, which is impressive, I would say. And considering that it's Pippa, you can probably imagine what kind of people came to see her. A lot of people with some gimmicks. Specifically, I'd like to shout out the. What even were those? Gnomes? Wizards? I don't know. They look like fucking gnomes to me. But basically, like 4 or 3 dudes that came and did a little gnome dance for Pippa. And that was the highlight of a lot of things. On top of that, there was a Sam Hyde cosplayer too. Cosplaying that one moment in Sam Hyde's career where he had like that appearance at TEDx. I think that was TEDx, and he dressed up as a Roman in a hat. That's what this guy was dressed in, and I did miss what he had to say to Pippa, because usually it was like one-on-one. You can only hear Pippa, what Pippa had to say, and everyone else was kind of muted, as all the people were like waiting at the back, just waiting for that particular person to be done talking to Pippa, and then they just moved on. Pippa offered to take a picture with people. A friend of mine took picture for me. Fishman was also there. The tiny Fishman. Pippa was insulting him from time to time when she had free time between people coming in. It was generally pretty amusing. I didn't tell Pippa who I was. I kept my identity secret, and she thought I guess I was a sex pervert because I didn't want to tell her who I was and where I was from. On top of that, I was wearing my very cool cyberpunk helmet, so I didn't attract too much attention to myself during that part, but it was amusing all the same. Very happy to have met Pippa in person, quote unquote, in person, and she told me not to end up in the news for some sex crime, I imagine, which is very on point for Pippa. Pretty cool. I was a bit disappointed there was apparently no keychains to buy, or maybe I was too late going to the booth to buy them. The coffee sold out. I don't know. Apparently, I don't drink coffee, so I'm not a good person to evaluate how good that coffee actually is, but the coffee sold out. How the fuck did the coffee sold out? The coffee was apparently pretty bad, like, at least to the Face Connect talents themselves saying that the coffee is pretty bad. Or that might be, you know, reverse psychology marketing or whatever. But the coffee sold out. I don't know if the coffee sold out for the meme or something like that, but the coffee sold out. So when Pippa's meet and greet started, the coffee was already all gone. I don't know if they restocked it. I imagine they don't, considering how limited the stock was over there. And the booth was like managed by like 3 people. Including Fishman himself, like 2 dudes. I saw 2 dudes there, and Fishman doing all the work. Had standees to sell. I'm not a fan of standees, so I didn't buy any standees. I like all of these smaller merchandise parts. I bought all of keychains during OLACon. I bought like over 10 Blue Archive keychains. I bought 3 Whole Life keychains. I was looking very hard for like, I won't say bootleg, by fan-made, but fan-made Face Connect stuff, and unfortunately I didn't find any. I fucking love keychains. I have so many keychains on my keyring. I can slap someone with it and probably kill them, or at least give them lacerations with all of these keychains that I have. But yeah. That was a good part of the convention. Unfortunately, I missed, due to work related reasons. I've missed all of the other meet and greets with other face talents. I know Tenma had a really cool one where she was ogling cosplayers and stuff like that. Next time I will go and flex my muscles at Tenma so she can ogle or whatever. But yeah, I'm sad I missed Tenma's meet and greet. I'm sad I missed Leah's meet and greet, and I'm sad I missed Hime's meet and greet because I had work to do at this convention. I came to for mostly for leisure, but you know, it is what it is, unfortunately. And I can't complain because I still got to go. I still got to enjoy myself for the most part. But yeah, that was my Oricon experience with VTubers. VTubers, so too long didn't listen to me. VTubers are getting more popular. Niji-sanji, unfortunately for some, is getting more popular. That's why they have such a huge presence at all of these conventions. I'm glad Face Connect attended their first East Coast convention. I hope they come next year to Oricon as well. I hope they have a bigger presence with more merch. They should really bring out more keychains because I'm willing to buy every single one of them. So Fishman, if you're listening, and I know you're not listening, bring out the fucking keychains. They will sell like fucking freshly made bread. In essence, less coffee, more keychains, please. At the Face Connect booths. What work did I do there? I had to meet with some specific industry people. We had to set up panels for next year because we are planning to have our own panels, our own company panels. To give you an idea who I work for, I won't name names yet, but I work for a video game publisher. Publishing very spicy titles, very spicy video game titles you can buy on Steam, any other places too. And we are setting up our own panels next year, hopefully, at both Anime Expo. We'll see how that goes, and at Oricon. And we're gonna be selling games there. We're gonna be giving out codes. We're gonna be probably have some merch if it's made by that time. Hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it's gonna happen. So yeah, most of my stuff was related to meeting up with the organizers of Oricon itself and setting up stuff for next year. So we wouldn't have to rush. Before the convention actually started next year, you know, do things ahead of time, way ahead of time, so there's no issues next year. Hope that will come to pass, and I will be able to sell porn games at Oricon, which and talk about them during a panel. We'll see how that goes. I mean, the publisher I work for has many best-selling games, and I do mean best-selling, like in terms of Steam sales. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of copies sold of these particular games. Some of these games you might have seen. They went viral. They sold very well even before they went viral, thanks to people like Markiplier playing them. That of course boosted the sales even more, but yeah, it was generally a very good time when it comes to sales. So hopefully these convention appearances help us even more with that, help us popularize our brand, and you know, I always wanted to participate in a convention panel. Just talk about my general interests and try to sell people on some stuff that I like on a personal basis. But yeah, that's Oricon for you. But that's not everything when it comes to Oricon. We have one last thing which a lot of you probably came for. We have this particular thing that happened to me as I was enjoying my time at Oricon. Was this the first day or was it the second day? I don't remember exactly. I think it was the first day, yeah. It was the first day, like close to evening time, like 8 like 6 p.m., 7 p.m., something like that. As I was winding down after a long day of just walking around every single place I could find at Oricon. Going to the gaming venue, going to the artist alley, going to the exhibition place, all of these places. I had a very busy day on all the walking, so I was just taking a breather, taking a drink when my phone goes off. and someone DMs me, like one of the people that follows me DMs me, and I have screenshots from my favorite fucking VTuber racist, Kumchatka, if that, or Kumachatka, I guess that's how you pronounce his name. And I see him making rape threats directed at me. I never had a thing like that happen to me. I don't imagine a lot of males get rape threats. I imagine, unfortunately, a lot of females get rape threats, but Kumachatka was feeling bold, and he directed some rape threats my way, and you may be wondering why he did that. I don't know why specifically rape threats. Maybe he was feeling horny. Maybe between virtue signaling on Twitter and telling how bad YD is to him, he decided to, you know, I feel a little bit ornery. I feel a little bit ornery, and I'm gonna send this gimmick account some rape threats, telling he's gonna fuck me, and I'm gonna be his bottom bitch or whatever. To this day, I would like to see him try. Again, with the account I run, I'm sure to have a very negative opinion in some circles, and I get very little threats. I get very little death wishes, actually, like sent to me in DMs or anything like that. It's usually very peaceful, and the people that come to my account, you know, to bitch and moan, are usually made fun of themselves, and they don't usually have anything interesting to say other than acting retarded in front of a crowd. You know, a clown needs a circus, so they get their stage, I would say. But yeah, so a bit of context on that one. Like, why did Kumachatka decide to actually send me anything in the first place? Well, Kumachatka had discovered this really weird racist meme where a dude, like some dude baiting on Twitter, decided to make a black anime person, like a black anime girl slave in a cotton field, something like that. And him and a few other dudes, like they were talking about selling and owning her, like just, you know, fucking around. And Kumachatka, of course, had the main example out of these people, because the only thing he does as a self-proclaimed VTuber manager is getting angry at racists and what he considers racists. And, you know, he made some posts saying that, oh, if I ever saw these racists, like these dudes, they are so tough online, but if they were challenged offline, they would shit their pants or something in that venue. So I'm as snarky as I am, I decide to quote retweet him and say, well, if you're what I actually tell him, I don't even remember what I told him, but I basically took him up on an offer of a fight that he was offering, and called him a racist because he's a racist, like an unironic racist, like none of that fucking around that these dudes did with the AI generated black slave. This guy's genuinely racist, and I'll show you some of his tweets later as we go through some of his stuff. And I took him up on that offer. I challenged him online. I tough guy the tough guy online. And then I thought that would be the end of it because the guy had me blocked. But apparently, you know, even though he has me blocked, he still keeps some tabs on me, or someone told him about that specific challenge I levied at him. And then he decided, in all of his wisdom, to make that very weird rape threat at me. And since I'm lazy, and since I'm still on my vacation, we're gonna watch Rev's video about this situation, because Rev did make a video about this, which is very funny. And I appreciate it for that, and for covering it. Mind you, I didn't deliver that particular material to him. He just kind of decided to do it on his own, which is even funnier to me. But yeah, let's watch that. And if I need to give you guys some context for that, I will give it. But yeah, let's lower the volume just a little bit, and let's watch Rev's video on the situation.
Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So before we get into the drama, I wanted to start off on a lighter note. So right now, Otakon is underway, and the YouTuber Kenisu captured this image. So apparently one of...
Yeah, I didn't see that. I know where this particular place is at the convention, but I didn't see this projection. But yeah, Rev also got his own appearance at as an image with his catchphrase, "Your likes are public."
The attendees of the con set up this projection screen and shared the good word, my signature catchphrase, "Your likes are public," reminding everyone at the convention to know that their Twitter likes are indeed public. However, that wasn't the only thing going on at Otakon, so we're going to focus on this thread posted by Kuri Rinji, who runs the VTuber Cringe account on Twitter. He also has a YouTube channel now covering VTuber drama if you want to check that out. But he came back from a full day of activities at Otakon to find this individual named Kuma, a self-described VTuber manager, making a...
I don't know what this guy manages. He doesn't stream. He doesn't do anything beyond what I described you, like just talking about racism and perceived racism on Twitter. I don't know who the fuck he manages, but I'm guessing the virtual manager stands for the fact that he doesn't actually manage anybody. So the virtual is only in his head. But yeah, doesn't stream, doesn't do any kind of other VTuber activities. It's just a fucking avatar. It's just a beat reader.
A whole slew of threats towards Kuri, including what many would consider R-word threats as well. Yes, a VTuber manager saying stuff like this is pretty wild. I mean, it seems like they...
What he doesn't manage is his moods, because I haven't seen anyone this angry before on Twitter. He's a very angry and unhinged individual.
Can't even manage their own emotions, let alone other VTubers. But this is one of those situations you have to ask yourself, how did we get here? And also, are these racist claims valid? Well, we're going to prove that all these claims are pretty valid, but let's start with the post that generated all these responses. Kuma made this response to a situation that I'm only going to describe generally because I feel like a lot of the people involved in that situation on Twitter, some Twitter spats, they're doing it to antagonize people of the other race, including black and white users going at each other, and eventually it led to this censored image, which was an individual posting an AI-generated anime slave girl with the intent of antagonizing black users, where Kuma made this tweet saying, "I am blocking names to not even give these pieces of shit even an inkling of clout, also censoring for black, indigenous, people of color, peace of mind."
Mind you, Kuma keeps saying that he's indigenous, but he's like some kind of he's some kind of Asian that moved from the Caucasus region to the United States, I presume, and he's still saying that he's indigenous. He's certainly not fucking indigenous to the United States, so I don't know why he's so happy to keep advertising his indigenous status. But I guess this is what ID poll people do anyway. So he keeps on BIPOCing people left and right.
You wonder why BIPOC don't feel safe in anime communities or the VTuber community. You wonder why BIPOC make BIPOC only spaces and exclude white people. You wonder where the racism is. It's right effing there. Look at it. So sick and tired. So sick and tired. So as you can see, they're starting off with a focus on an individual person posting what they believe is racist, but then they use that as a justification to generalize that behavior to not only the anime community, the VTuber community, but also white people as well. And then they followed up in that thread with these comments saying, "Then you all get in your effing feelings when we speak out or say some stuff about white people."
Yeah, they use the white circle for white people because they know it's gonna get them axed. If they act racist on Twitter towards white people, like just outright spell out white together with people, it can get them axed. So this is what anti-white racists do on Twitter nowadays. They just white circle white people, and then they just say the most awful things. And Kuma is not the only person that does that. A lot of genuine anti-white racists can be identified by this symbol usage.
Or don't want to associate with y'all. I effing wonder why. In quote saying, it's just dark humor, bro. Chill. And they say, I'm going to show you chill when I kick your effing teeth down your throat. Y'all tough as shit online, but mask up or hide in real life because you ain't about it. Just waiting for the regular drama coverage people to cover this and try to justify it as the BIPOC people are the problem. So yes, the regular drama coverage person here to cover all of this. You got your wish. But I want to make a lot of things clear before we get into the following tweets. People like this are very predictable in their responses to being covered in videos like mine. They're going to immediately respond by saying, I'm racist, and that I'm defending the picture that they were quote retweeting. I am not doing any of those things. In fact, I think what they posted was vile, and you have every right to call out that person. However, that is not...
This is not even the worst things that Kuma has talked about, or is generally outlined in the way that he does. You know, these violent threats are one thing, but the dude genuinely doesn't believe that you can be racist towards white people, and I'll show you a few of those tweets later too. I even covered him in a video because he's my, along with what's her face, Mavis. They're my favorite VTuber racists. I know that whenever they open their mouth, it's usually gonna be one of the few things. It's either gonna be self-victimization, someone hurt their feelings in line, someone said a mean thing, or not even a mean thing. What they call is a microaggression. There's gonna be those kinds of things. The other thing is gonna be complaining about actual racism or perceived racism. The third thing is gonna be genuinely racist things coming from them. And 4, it's gonna be them justifying that they can be racist because you can be racist to white people. Because white people are privileged and can be racist apparently to people with power. Because, you know, racism, according to them, is systematic, and that's the only definition they accept. Because it lets them have power over other people, and this is how they shut down any and all discussion.
An excuse or a valid reason to attack entire groups of people over it. Here's the thing. This is not a Black, Indigenous, people of color problem. They are not the problem. You are the problem. Your behavior in this situation and in past situations are problematic. Those are the things that are wrong, and that's what we're going to look into, because this history of making threats and disparaging comments against white people is something that this VTuber is well documented for. So this is what happened. So they made their thread here offering these threats, and Kuri Rinji quote retweets saying, I'll take you up on your offer, internet tough guy plus racist. Where then this individual would share a screenshot of that and say, God damn, quit riding my dick. You're blocked and are still trying to engage with me. Funny AF.
I mean, he has me blocked too and still engages with me, so it goes both ways.
Bro literally trying to justify the posting of that image.
Oh, I didn't justify it. I did think it was racist. It wasn't the kind of thing I would post. But in general, there was 2 people fucking around, which can be probably forgivable to some people. But yeah, this guy likes to fight racism with racism is what I'm saying.
And the comments made in that thread I posted. So to make it clear, at no point does he justify the posting of that meme. He literally just responded to the fact that this Kuma individual was threatening people with physical violence. It is something they've done many times before and will do again. So this follow-up is really what got people talking. It says, justify it then, bitch boy. You in love with me, huh? Come give me a smooch. You always...
This is incredibly gay.
Quote retweeting or screenshotting my stuff.
And not the right kind of gay either.
Let's link. I'll F you in the ass. You'll be my bottom bitch. Oh, and don't worry, I'm pansexual, so it doesn't matter what you want to identify as. Yeah, I think it's very reasonable to consider that an R-word threat over the internet. And if you really want...
This tweet is deleted now, by the way. It would look very bad, as you can imagine, of this very, very not unhinged, very unbothered individual that constantly virtue signals what a good person he is. I don't think even his own followers would be able to justify making rape threats towards anybody. But you know, I've seen leftoids justify a lot of things, from fucking cuties sexualizing actual minors and shit like that. So I'm guessing some of them would justify rape threats too. As you know, he cannot act on them. He has no ability to do so whatsoever. It's not an actionable threat, but still a threat nonetheless.
I understand the severity of what they're saying. Imagine if a male member of the VTubing scene said this to a woman publicly. They would be evaporated from social media. Their whole life would be over. They'd probably be doxxed within an hour. Okay, people would lose their minds. However, this individual directs it at another man, and there is pretty much no blowback, other than this thread made by Rinji covering these tweets. And yes, these things are very strange. These are weird threats, and this is something that this individual, this
I still wish these people would actually try to act out on their threats and shit like that. I'm a person that likes a challenge. I thrive in adversity. Adversity makes me better, makes me want to improve myself. And, you know, if the guy wants to make a violent threat, then, I don't know, come at me. Like, do your worst. I'm waiting right here. I can even tell you where I am in private if you want to act on your threats. Like, I don't mind. I'm old enough to fight my own fights, so, you know, if you want to set me challenges, go right ahead.
VTuber manager is well known for. And also, as stated in this thread, they're an unhinged racist. And that is something I think is generally supported by their tweets on this account from Kuma. And people were quick to point out these things in the replies as well. Here's an example of a tweet that was removed from Kuma's account saying, "Don't try and defend this stuff.
Oh yeah, he got locked for that tweet. I'm surprised he wasn't banned for a lot of these tweets because, again, if you said these things about an Asian person or a black person or whatever, you're instantly gone. But he only got locked. He only got a slap on his wrist and told to delete that shit. I'm surprised his account is still lasting.
Person is pasty effing whites. I can't effing stand these people." So when I saw all these things, I thought to myself, okay, maybe they have a real issue with white people. It's becoming very clear. So it's very easy to search certain keywords to see where this Kuma person stands.
Just look for white on his account.
When it comes to white people. So there's this thread we're going to start off with first, made back in May of this year, saying, "Damn, bro," and for clarity's sake, this is referring to Vei's use of the R word during her first stream as an independent or returning.
Yeah, the retard debacle. That was something. That was one of the VTuber moments of all time. I would say a drama over fucking nothing, and it lasted for like 2 weeks. Okay, imagine being angry about a person saying retard 2 weeks straight. It's almost as good as the Hogwarts Legacy fucking drama that still reemerges even nowadays. Like, I even posted about it like yesterday. These people live like in perpetual time loop.
As an independent streamer. So, damn bro, the VTuber community seems to struggle with not being utter garbage. It's not hard to eliminate slurs from your vocabulary. You all act like people who say, "Don't say slurs please and thanks," are asking the world of you. It's as simple as saying it. The fact that a bunch of people are struggling with this speaks volumes. Now, before we read the next reply, just keep this in mind. as we read a whole bunch of disparaging words that this user consistently uses and directs towards white users on Twitter. But they made this little statement down here, another huge generalization, saying, please tell me why white people always have this edgy phase that is literally just racism and ableism. It's not normal. So yeah, that's a pretty strong generalization, saying that all white people go through a racist phase, and also that they're not normal. That's a pretty bold thing to say about an entire group of people based on the actions of one person. But here's one of the replies to that thread, and
yeah, it is
hidden under multiple layers, but basically this whole their use of logic here is something we'll see again. So replying to a user, they said, can't be racist to white people. The fact that you try to bring his post into my
yeah, they hide posts too, as you can see.
space is laughable. Goodbye. Call me a coward for blocking you all you want. I am curating my space and who interacts with me. So yes, they're
very funny thinking that Twitter is like their own private space. They think that they, your account isn't locked. It's not on private. This is not your space. This is a public space. You can even call it a public forum. The things you say on Twitter, they don't go into a vacuum. They aren't going into the ether. People are gonna see it. Alice, thanks for the $10.
sticking with the you can't be racist to white people. And as many people will point out, there is definitely something very telling about treating a person differently based on the color of their skin. We all know that these sorts of terms and
I would send those $10 over to Kuma, but he doesn't stream. I would send them over for his colon teeth removal surgery.
Verbiage used to disparage white people does not have the same effect as things used against people of color. Okay, we all know it's not the same level of seriousness, okay? But it's still very telling that you treat people differently based on their race. It doesn't matter if they're white or anything else. It tells a lot about you as a person. And this is something that they are very insecure about because, I mean, look at this. Multiple layers. They hid the reply, they blocked the user after replying to them, and then limited who could reply to their response here. Basically hiding behind multiple layers to prevent people from having an honest discussion about what they're saying. But they would actually get a lot of flack for that edgy phase they were citing for white people, and they would make this follow-up tweet saying, not people coming and telling me that racism is bad for me saying this. You can't be racist to white people. Get in your feelings all you want. Now, luckily, if you want some hope in humanity here, they got blasted in the quote retweets. But moving on, I mean, this whole idea of you can't be racist to white people, Kuma is certainly trying. They are trying their darndest to be racist towards white people. And let's see some examples of that. So, responding to another now suspended account.
Wait, I don't know if you noticed, but he said, as an indigenous person that immigrated to the United States, I mean, what does it matter where you come from? Like, the place you were born, that's your place of origin. That's where you're indigenous to. So why would the fuck would it matter that you're indigenous to some other place and then you immigrated someplace and then you hold that status over other people's heads like it's some kind of trophy or something? I do not understand that line of thinking, like, whatsoever. Like, do I go to another country and just say, oh, as an indigenous person of this and this, I get to talk over you because X, Y, and Z reasons? That's so ridiculous.
They said, we don't like bleach demons. They ain't like this in IRL because they'd get their teeth kicked in. So another threat, and calling people bleach demons, which is obviously disparaging to...
I really like to know what Kuma actually looks like. You know, one of those show physique posts that a lot of people like to use on social media. I'd like Kuma to show physique because he likes to make a lot of these threads to people. I wonder if he can back it up with his supreme indigenous physicality. He can kick so many people's teeth in. If he can actually reach that far.
White people.
He can lift his leg that high.
But this interaction is very telling. This is from literally a month and a half ago, okay? So they make this thread saying, hear me out. How about instead of these VTuber talk shows where it's the majority of whites, we make an inclusive Black, Indigenous, people of color VTuber talk show? Something that's meant for us. Number one.
I love segregation too, yeah. What does fucking civil rights in the United States even mean when these people want to segregate themselves all the time, pretending to be victims? Because I do wonder how severe the actual racism is this particular person experienced. I don't know if he's just an angry little person. That's probably the case, or if he has one of those backstories that a manga protagonist would have. You know, something so terrible happened to him in his childhood or whatever that it set his principles, it set his morality on such a way that he cannot help himself but be racist towards white people. Because Whitey has wronged him so fucking much. He has to make rape threats and other violent threats every single time he's fucking challenges on anything.
What's preventing you from setting that up yourself? I do not understand.
Yeah, maybe a bleach demon is haunting his dreams. Maybe he didn't set his dream catcher up for that particular night and he had nightmares about white people. And now he's just lashing out.
But an artist would reply to that saying, okay, but why refer to white people as white circle emoji? Yeah, what those guys did was wrong, but using an emoji to refer to people is weird.
Circle.
Where Kuma would reply saying, first of all, I can refer to white people however I want. Also, I didn't ask. Out of this entire post, singled in on that and decided to make a comment. Interesting. So yes, this whole use of a white circle to refer to white people is very strange. It is very strange. Now, I'm not sitting here being like, oh, please don't use that to address white people. It's very hurtful. It's just goofy. It's just a goofy thing to do, to refer to a whole group of people as a white circle emoji. We all know, once again, applying this standard in another way, if a white person referred to black people with the black circle emoji, users like Kuma would be screaming racist at the top of their lungs. That just goes to show you how weird this is.
Yeah, I still think that the only reason they use those circles is to avoid, getting axed on Twitter. Because again, racism, doesn't matter which way it goes, is reportable on Twitter. So this helps them to avoid some algorithmic, at least, reports, because, Twitter does have tools for that automatically can analyze specific keywords or key phrases and, see if it's meant as some sort of racism, even if the context is, stupid or joking. Like, let's say you send like a death threat, but like a joking one to a friend of yours on Twitter. Twitter doesn't fucking give a damn about the context of that shit. They just detect specific keywords and key phrases, and then you can get suspended for that. And if they do manually check that, you can get unbanned. If they do bother to do it. Twitter, or X under new management, is in some ways better, but in more ways it's worse than it used to be. But at least more things are actionable when it comes to reporting racism, like genuine racism. I mean, but it is what it is.
Like, it's a very strange hill to die on, to want to be able to call a whole group of people under an emoji. But going on, eventually Kuma would say, I just got to ask for future reference, are you white? Where the artist would reply saying, for future reference, what is that even supposed to mean? It doesn't matter what I am. I'm not even about being white. I don't refer / any race to an effing emoji. Grow up. Where Kuma responds saying, you come into my space.
Again, his space. It's not his space. It's fucking Elon Musk's space. You don't have a space. It's not your property. You're just borrowing someone's fucking tech in order to communicate. It's not your fucking space. That's not how social media works, especially if you're posting everything in a public fashion.
And tell me what I can and can't do when referring to white people. Who the F even asked? Get the F out. Literally no one asked. You cauliflower munching culture vulture. Which again is another way to disparage white people. Again, another very just goofy and stupid one, but clearly you posted it to disparage this person.
I mean, again, if he wants his own quote-unquote space, then private his fucking account. And he did private his account for a while after Rev made this video because, oh, the evil racists are coming for him. Never mind that people were shitting on him for, you know, sending rape threats to the fucking people. But it's the evil racists' fault that he's getting flack for his very normal comments.
Based on the fact that you think they're white. That's the very obvious intention.
I think he was also looking for things that were reportable on his account and just deleting them, because a lot of the shit that he said in the past is just gone. A lot of the racist shit. I think a lot of these white circle tweets that he made are all also gone. I haven't looked into it, but they probably are. Because, you know, he's the bravest fucking racist you've ever seen.
In here to disparage someone based on the color of their skin or what you perceive to be the color of their skin. And this whole idea of you come into my space, buddy, you don't own twitter.com. You don't own a space on Twitter. Nobody does. So it's very fair for anyone to...
Even if you pay Elon Musk, you don't own shit. And I feel like this is a tangent I'm about to go on. I feel very bad for artists that have blue check marks. Because if they're porn artists, and I don't know if you guys know that, but the new owner of Twitter, or at least the one in charge of I think executive director, I don't remember her title, but she had an interview like not too long ago where she said that, you know, free speech on Twitter is allowed, but there's also things that are disgusting, and if you post disgusting things, she didn't elaborate what those disgusting or awful, as she put it, things were. You're gonna get kind of unpersoned. You're gonna get shadow banned. Your visibility, your reach on Twitter/X will be limited. So any porn artists, it doesn't matter if it's a lolicon artist or shotacon artist or any kind of artist, a lot of them are gonna get fucking shadow banned. So whatever bonuses, whatever algorithmic boost they got with being verified on the platform is null and void if they're just gonna get fucking shadow banned for posting quote unquote awful content. So yeah, it's bad. Shadow bans used to be temporary on Twitter, like they ran out on their own after you started posting normal, or at least what Twitter at that time defined as normal content, and you could go back to normal posting, and your engagement, your reach, your searchability on Twitter was normal. But nowadays shadow bans just do not run out because they limit visibility by shadow banning people they deem to be awful. So I don't know how much you would have to suck Elon Musk's dick in order to get unshadow banned, but I haven't heard of a case of a artist I personally follow getting that shadow ban removed. So if you're an artist doing business on Twitter, it has gotten very hard considering your reach is limited. So if you're a smaller artist, if you don't have the privilege of having tens of thousands of followers, and your reach is naturally boosted by the people retweeting and liking your shit, then you're in for a tough time if you want to do business and reach as many people on Twitter. So yeah, Elon Musk sucks dicks when it comes to that sort of thing. Free speech, but with gross limitations. You can't do fucking business like this, and I feel bad for my fucking favorite artists that try very hard to make a living of their shit. I hope someone or something reaches, you know, some sensible part in Elon Musk's brain, and he just reverses that decision. because you know what's deemed awful is up to interpretation. But from what I've seen, it's porn, that kind of art, pornographic art, that will get you shadow banned sooner or later. It sucks, is what I'm saying. Back to the video.
Come in and question your very strange practices. They didn't come in here and tell you you can or can't post this white circle emoji. They're just asking, like, why do it? It's weird, and it is weird. So, like, what? That's a very fair thing to ask. They're not coming in and telling you what to do. But this, of course, would continue where Kuma would say,
Well, as I had, you asked, similar to YouTube hitting you with limited monetization on all of your videos. I don't know how much reach reduction you get with when you're limited when it comes to YouTube videos, but with Twitter shadow banning, you're just completely unsearchable when you get shadow banned on Twitter, which just kind of, you know, if people look up your name via Twitter search function, you're not gonna show up, and your tweets aren't gonna be recommended to other people either. Even if you have some kind of decent following, your tweets just not gonna be recommended to people in the For You tab on Twitter, which, you know, is a fucking problem when you're an artist and you want your art to reach as many people as possible. It might be even worse than what YouTube has. And speaking of monetization on Twitter, apart from, you know, being verified, having 15 million impressions during like a month or so, or was that 3 months? I don't remember. You do have to be that person that's not awful too. So not everyone can get the privilege of getting monetized on Twitter either. Who Elon Musk and his fucking cronies consider non-problematic and not awful is, again, up to their own fucking interpretation. Probably, you know, people that are in his pocket, or some sponsors that go on Twitter. Who the fuck fucking knows? It's a mess, and I don't like it one bit.
stay out of Black, Indigenous people of color's business. You got no place here. You invaded my space to tell me what I can and can't do. Tell me how you can't live down that colonizer blood without telling me. And the artist would reply saying, colonizer blood, just because I'm white doesn't make me a colonizer. Tell me you know nothing about ethnicity and history. Where Kuma replies saying, I'm not wasting any more of my time on you, Snow Roach. Go rant to your fellow racists and cry about minuscule problems like someone using an emoji for white people. There's just so much gaslighting and manipulation.
Yeah, minuscule problems, and he created just a whole bunch of racist tirades at this point. He became his own problem on Twitter. I imagine this post is also deleted because that's just racism. Like, it's not joking. It's not fucking around. This dude's just awful.
This thread, I can't even
He's that awful that Elon Musk would describe as awful.
believe it. The idea of colonizer blood being some sort of relevant thing here. Like, these are the same kind of people who will be like talking to a white person or someone like me on the internet saying like, oh, you know, your slave owning ancestors. Meanwhile, my whole family came here in the mid 1900s. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. But like, boiling it all down to such a dramatic thing. This is not you know, let me back up.
For the record, my ancestors have they quote unquote colonized some neighbors. If you want to call that colonization, I just call that, you know, border disputes due to war and shit like that. But if you want to go that far, I don't think my ancestors have colonized, at least in the definition that Kuma understands colonization. I don't think my ancestors have colonized anybody. My lineage is clean, at least until the 12th century, something like that. Something like that.
They say it's a minuscule problem. It is a minuscule problem. It's just weird. And this person asking you about why you're using emojis to refer to a group of people is a minuscule question. And you come back with an overblown response talking about colonization and colonizer blood and claiming that these people are terrible and you're using
one of my ancestors on my mother's side was actually a traitor to his country, and he was hanged on the city fucking walls for that. Funny story, that.
What you're attempting to make slurs to use against them, it's all just too much. And the artist would reply saying, yeah, see, now that was racist. Grow up. You want respect, but then you disrespect people you want the respect from. Social media has really
I like this plushy person. She had the right response to it.
clouded your mind. Where Kuma would reply saying, whatever you say, bleach demon. Yeah, take a shot in this video for every single time this person tries to make a slur against white people. Where, of course, the artist then replies with a very valid response to this whole situation. And I found this to be very interesting. So back to that thread talking about,
The only thing that's preventing people nowadays from quote-unquote colonizing others, from having more serious invasions, is probably nukes. That nuclear deterrent, that promise of mutual destruction is very real. So, at least Oppenheimer did that good to the world, that, there's such a huge fucking threat that all of us will just blow each other up, that they rather not engage in conflicts, because most of the powerful sides have nuclear weapons and they simply do not want to use them. Without those, things would have been much different when it comes to geopolitics.
You can't be racist to white people. They hid every single reply that had any sort of a rebuttal to their claim. And I found this one to be probably the most on point. So it's basically saying that not all racism is systemic, meaning you can be racist towards an individual. And that's exactly what's going on. When you're calling people bleach demons and things like that, it's clearly you attempting.
What is practiced as systemic racism is very well defined within countries like China with the Uyghur Muslim. I'd call it a genocide at this point, because what else would you call it? And also, another good example of that is in South Africa, where that is slowly being implemented by some very nationalistic, very aggressive parties that just want to get rid of the whitey farmer over there. So, yeah, that's systematic racism being implemented, if you want more clear examples of that.
To be racist or disparage someone based on the color of their skin at an individual level. How is that not a problem? That is a very reasonable thing to consider racism, when you're treating someone differently based on the color of their skin. It seems...
In fact, I dare to say that in the case of the United States, anti-white racism is becoming systematic, considering what kind of, privileges people with other skin colors get, and that white participants in education or even in employment are looked over because of programs that push up black people or the other quote unquote less privileged races. So I'd say systematic racism is implemented, but in another way, these people think it's implemented, at least in the United States. So you can see that at work, and there's examples of that everywhere, as far as the US is concerned. I don't know how it works in Canada, but I imagine a similar situation in Canada is in place, considering that place is fucking wacky as fuck. Canadian healthcare, if you know what I mean.
Very clear to me. But even if you want to believe you can't be racist to white people, well, you know what? At the end of the day, you're still a bad person. You're still a very toxic person who treats people differently based on the color of their skin. Put whatever label you want onto it. You're just not a good person. And it seems like you're completely unhinged. And I cannot believe a VTuber manager who can't even manage.
I still don't fucking know who he managed or manages. I think that's a LARP on his part.
Manage their own feelings is claiming that they can manage other people's careers. And that's why it's important to talk about these things. And honestly, I know it's a loaded topic, and I ask that you guys be respectful of all these things, but this is a conversation that needs to be had. No one should be able to or feel emboldened to make threats and just cruel remarks to other people because they feel like they're immune to it because the person they're talking to is a certain race. That's just wrong. But that's going to do it for this video. Again, please be respectful in the comments section, but feel free to share your thoughts as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, that's Kumachatka in a nutshell. Rev so graciously has shown other tweets that he made, tweets that I was about to show you. And now I don't have to show you because Rev has done my work for me, and I can be lazy for the rest of the stream. But yeah, that's my vacation recap. I can tell you some more stuff. Let me bring up the music back because we've been silent watching the video all this time. Yeah, my vacation was pretty nice. I visited my best friend. We went to a lot of cool places to eat mostly. Like whenever I visit him, he lives in New York City, by the way. We go on these what would you even call those? Binging quests, looking for the best places to eat around New York City. And this time, even though my stay with him was only for a week, we managed to visit a very cool barbecue place, like traditional southern barbecue place over in Brooklyn's borough in New York City. And I'm gonna link you that stuff. So if any of you do plan to visit New York City or are from New York City, do check out that place because it serves up some of the best barbecue food you probably ever had. And I know how weird that sounds if some of you have experienced like genuine southern style barbecue stuff, but this place is genuine. It serves up so many dishes, such high quality. I can only recommend them. So let me look that place up and link it to you in the chat if you do want to go there at some point in time. Is this link actually gonna go through? It's so long. Does this place have oh yeah, it has a website, so I can link you that. It's called Dinosaur Barbecue. It serves up so many good things. There it is. You need to go check it out. Kuri thoughts on Holo Advent. Holo Advent, I really like. I really like Fuwamoko. I enjoy the other VTubers as well. Shiori, in particular, I enjoy her not just because she's unhinged and you know she has the golf girlfriend design and vibes to her, but because I enjoy her because I know who she was in her previous life as a VTuber, and that particular person needed a real success break and a real change in direction in order to feel good about themselves. So I hope the success that she has now in Hololive provides her with that sort of experience and that she can thrive in that particular environment. And considering Hololive has been scoring so many W's lately, like just in this last year, yeah, I hope she does well, and I hope she'll be able to reach all of her goals, and I hope she continues to get all of that good art. She gets so much porn. She gets so much fucking good art drawn of her. Like it's a blessing and a privilege to be able to see like 3 to 4 new pieces every time I wake up, like new art pieces, just scrolling past my my Twitter timeline. It's so good. And speaking of VTuber porn, because I like to speak about that, Fuvamoko, these girls have gotten so much art even before they debut. The Japanese fucking love twins. They are all on that twincest stuff. They got so much stuff even before they debuted. Like, it's amazing. The Japanese or Asian artists in general are very fast with drawing, let's say, for work art. Usually they can get things up within an hour of a character like being revealed and stuff like that, but I haven't seen much of that with VTubers, but this kind of inspired Japanese and other Asian artists to be on their game and up their game in some cases. And there's so much good Fuamoko art out there. And I'm also glad that Hololive has a new gimmick they can capitalize on, because how often do you get VTuber twins that you can believe are actually VTuber twins, you know, actual siblings? The times that they both of them have managed to sync up and provided all of these classic moments like extreme violence or ultra violence, whichever one it was. Those moments are adorable. And to me, these girls probably can do no wrong. They have based tastes. They have very good tastes in video games, in art, and in other stuff. So they will filter normies very easily with their tastes alone. They're very cute. Their voices are excellent. And their growth has been pretty good too. They're the most subscribed current Holo Advent. They say bow bow, and I don't understand why they say bow bow instead of one or bark bark, but whenever they say bow bow, I just it just tells me that someone's telling me to build something in German. But for all the bow bows, I do like the content that they put up. Like, it's like not highbrow. I don't expect highbrow fucking entertainment for VTubers ever. Like, I'm not gonna get a VTuber art critic that goes into museums and critiques fine art or anything like that. I'm not gonna get a VTuber history analyst that talks about the intricacies of World War One and World War Two, analyzing military strategies and shit like that. I probably won't get a VTuber like that. Even though I do know there are history VTuber enthusiasts. All that Fuvamoko needs to fucking do is to be cute and be twins and finish each other's sentences or get into complete sync to create all of these adorable moments. That's all they need to do to be successful. And considering how well they've been doing so far, I think they have a bright future ahead of them. If they have a good manager and if they have good ideas on their own for content that only twins can do, then their growth will be even more pronounced in the future. I think Fuvamoko in particular has the potential to surpass all of the console girls, like, easily. But they need this like one hit stream that they're gonna be known for. They have a lot of classic moments already. A lot of people clip them. They got their own dedicated clippers too. They shared around on all of these bigger Twitter accounts too. But they need this one standout stream to come along that will get them a lot more new audiences, that will spread their messages around, so they can have more of an explosive growth. They need that one stream to come along, and I think that stream will come along sooner rather than later, because these girls have been doing extremely well for themselves. And other Holo Advents aren't lagging that far behind either. Their content might not be that much for me. Bijou is cute, but I'm waiting for her to do more stuff. They need to spread their wings still. they haven't reached, any of them still hasn't reached their full potential. I am waiting for that moment where all of them can reach their heights. I hope they don't reach them too fast, because you don't want a VTuber to plateau. You don't want that your favorite VTubers to reach their full potential and then just stay at the same level all this time. It makes some people depressed. A good example of that is Kiara. Kiara in the past has been a huge numbers person, and she's, if you guys remember, in the past, like year, maybe 2 years ago even, she has frequently complained about her growth, that she was lagging behind, she was plateauing, that sort of stuff. So yeah, it can affect your psyche pretty badly if you're focusing on that sort of thing. But there aren't many numbers people in Hololive EN that get depressed over that stuff. And I don't think Fuvamoko is gonna be that kind of VTuber, because I consider them like one VTuber, even though it's two VTubers, but they are a unit. To me, they function as a single VTuber. They're so good at this. And I do have to say, well, this is not like past life talk or anything. I still respect that past life talk, but who they were in the past, Manga Gamer has really wasted it. But that's not that unusual for Manga Gamer to waste opportunities and not progress with their stuff. Manga Gamer could have sat on something very good, on something very big. But they wasted it. But the girls got their second chance, and now they're in Hololive, and they're better than ever. They could have gotten a better deal if they tried. I hope people stay away from Niji Sanji and everyone just fucking gravitates towards Hololive, towards Idol, and towards Face Connect. Idol has been doing very well for themselves too. One in particular has been on my mind, which is Riroron of Idol EN. I fucking adore her covers of various songs sung in a lolly voice that she posts on Twitter. She has found her niche. She can produce cute and funny videos, or someone produces cute and funny videos for her, doesn't matter, but she's still the main performer in them. And she's getting a lot more attention through that. So Idol, to me, Idol has been doing nothing wrong. And they will make strides because their management is very competent. They understand the VTubing scene very well. They know how to behave themselves on social media and otherwise. They invest in VTuber related venues. Idol was one of the sponsors of Offkai. And yeah, they just know where to put their money, and they know how to capitalize on the VTubing scene. So I hope Idol continues to grow together with Face Connect. I hope Fishman doesn't get in the way of Face's success, and Pippa and everyone else grows to the levels of at least Niji Sanji. I really want Faze and Idol to surpass Niji in all kinds of ways, not just, concurrent viewer numbers and stuff like that. Niji Sanji needs to go to the way of the dodo. That company is a black company. They don't care about their VTubers. They actively get in the way of their talents, and they don't let their talents thrive. Their talents are stuck in one place with a fandom that's composed of terminally online children that will cancel them for the slightest perceived slight. And I really don't want them to succeed at this point, because that company does everything right in order to fail. They do everything wrong and everything right in order to fail. But their model, the way they release new VTubers so frequently, will probably keep them afloat. They still do good numbers. They're still popular, but considering how much shit they've been involved in, not only on the EN side, but also on the Japanese side and other side, I had a whole stream about fucking Niji Sanji drama. And I've learned so much from that. Like, that company shouldn't have a right to exist as an entertainment company. And the fact that they're so popular and people do not see what they're supporting is very disappointing. But, you know, consumers will consume. And VTuber fans aren't that different from your regular consumer. And they will continue to throw money at any color. But the only color any color is black. So, unfortunate as it is, Niji Sanji will continue to thrive, whether I want it or not. Yeah, I feel bad for Selen. I feel very bad for Selen because she does almost nothing wrong from a personal standpoint. She wants to promote other people, not just herself. She wants others to thrive from her success. But what does Any Color do? Any Color says no, because, you know, probably too difficult to manage, probably too risky, quote unquote, for them to manage. She, as harsh as that may sound, I think she should go independent. She should graduate from Niji, and she should do the things that she always wanted to do on her own. I think her Dragoons would gladly follow her whenever. She'd probably do much better as an independent compared to what she has in Niji Sanji right now. It would certainly be better for her mental health, because Niji Sanji is destroying her self-esteem and everything else with it. I feel really bad for her because she tries so hard, and whenever she gets very close to succeeding at organizing something, Niji Sanji just fucking gets in the way. Do I believe Selen will graduate soon? I don't know if Selen will graduate, but considering she said that she won't be organizing more stuff, that might be a prelude to her graduating. Might be, but might not be. We'll see. We'll see if Selen realizes that Niji Sanji for her is a ball and chain, and she would do much better without it. In fact, I think if Selen were to graduate, she would be immediately swept up. I think she would get plenty of offers from companies like, for example, Idol. I think Hololive would take her no problem. Selen is a gamer, and you know, I think Hololive EN lacks that hardcore gamer. You know, I know there's Amelia and there's others. I know there's very skilled gamers in Hololive EN, but you need that pro, or at least close to pro gamer VTuber in your ranks, and I think she would fit in very, very well with the current Holo EN lineup. But you know, if she doesn't, then she can go to any other place. I think any other place would take her without thinking. Easily. No problem whatsoever. And she would get much better treatment. Yeah, Selen has to come home to either Hololive or any other company, because Niji Sanji clearly isn't for her. Thoughts on Idol ES? I mean, I don't speak Spanish, so I don't have many thoughts about Idol ES, but I do have this one thought about it. Is I'm glad that Idol is expanding into other languages, and ES has its own fucking drama. The Spanish-speaking side of VTubing is its own cesspool, as I'm told by many people that do speak Spanish. They have their own regular dramas that are very similar to EN dramas and more. So someone reining in Spanish-speaking VTubers and making something good out of it is something I'm looking forward to, because I do think Idol would do it right. I think Idol would do it very right. And I hope their Idol ES branch succeeds, and I think it will. I mean, they already made a name for themselves, and they have brand recognition. They have many popular VTubers, and the brand is known. They're very transparent about the things that they do. Their CEO is frequently and constantly answering questions about their operations on Twitter. So outside of, you know, companies like Face Connect, Idol is the most open about what they do, and that's a welcome change, because transparency is very welcome in the entertainment industry. When you get into an entertainment company, you do want to know what you're getting into. You do want to know all the rules that you will have to follow. You do have to know all the benefits that you get, and Idol has been increasingly open about all of them. They answer even the most ridiculous questions, like even the most convoluted stuff about their operations, and I'm very impressed by what they're doing. They hire people that are very skilled, people that have high charisma, people that can entertain on their own, people that do not have to rely on other people in order to be successful. Highly skilled people with their own niches to cover, which is very important. If you have a niche that's not covered in the entertainment industry, and you can find someone that does it very well, you're on your way to success. Like Riroron, for example, she found her niche within making these small, cute covers of songs in a lolly voice. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do to succeed. Sometimes you just need to do one thing very well in order to be successful. You don't need to be a VTuber Swiss knife in order to be successful. Sometimes, listen, to be a popular VTuber, sometimes you just need to have a cute voice, and that's enough. Sometimes that's all enough you need. That's the only thing you need to do. Like, you don't need to have a particular skill set. Just being cute sometimes is good enough in order to be successful. You may not be the most entertaining person in the world, but goddamn, you sound cute as fuck. So you're gonna get popular either way. I know that sounds very disrespectful to some people, I can imagine, but sometimes that's all you need to succeed. That's just facts, and I'm not changing my mind about that. Sometimes you just need to do one thing very well, and that thing can just be you know, your natural voice, or a very cute voice that you can put on. Some VTubers thrive in their gaming skills, although fewer are successful in fields like music creation, playing an instrument, singing, drawing. I have a lot of respect for VTuber artists. Well, not a lot of them, but a lot of them. There are some that are completely unhinged, and they have landed on my Twitter account many times before, because, as I mentioned a few days ago, mental illness and artists and internet artists, they go hand in hand, and very few people are ready for that conversation. I personally work in my profession. I work with artists all the time, and I do know a lot about their mental illnesses, and how working with people like that is a hellish experience for the most part. You want a skilled artist, but also one that can handle themselves on a daily basis within tasks that are expected of them. There's nothing worse than artists that cannot meet schedules. Mind you, schedules they made for themselves too a lot of the time, which is sad, I know. They make their own schedules and they cannot meet them. A lot of artists that you see on social media, they're mostly younger people, like in their 20s, sometimes even in like their late teens, and they don't have a work ethic made up yet, or they're just very awful at delivering work in a timely fashion because they have their own personal problems to handle. And if you run a business, a commission business, for example, on Twitter, because yes, it is a business, you aren't at that point. You aren't just, you know, a hobbyist artist. You're actually taking in clients, and you need to offer some level of professionalism to them. Otherwise, you know, people will make call-out posts about you, about what a bad person you are, and that you know, you don't meet deadlines and shit like that. And you're gonna get shit talked on Twitter, which is which in some instances for some smaller artists is career suicide. So I have this advice for young and fledgling artists: develop a proper work ethic. Work comes before play, and work usually comes before your mental illness. If you decided to take on a commission, if you decided to take on work, you better damn fucking finish it. Otherwise, no fucking excuse in the world will save you from the fucking Twitter mob or whatever else is gonna be hanging over your head and is gonna eventually fall and stab you in the fucking skull. So yeah, that's what you have to do. How long have I been going for, damn it? I miss talking to people. I missed going on fucking rants about VTubers. I want to go back to making videos, to making my short form videos about stupid shit. And I might restart that tomorrow. There's a few things I want to cover. In the non-stream format, streaming is cool and all, but streaming requires more juicy content. Streaming requires something very fruity, something that's fragrant and tastes of cringe and smells of cringe. It needs to be something more, something bigger than just, you know, one dude shitting themselves on Twitter. It needs to be more structured. I like to have my streams more structured than that. Ad-libbing and you know, general impromptu streams are fine and all, but I'm more of a fan of Zatsus than anything else. So me doing a gaming stream would be extremely boring because I cannot rant because I want to focus on the game. And speaking of games, there's so many fucking games to play, chat. There's so many fucking games that came out when I was on vacation. Oh, sorry. There's Jagged Alliance free to play. There's Baldur's Gate free to play with fucking gay bear sex. I want to make Hanma Yujiro like character in Baldur's Gate 3. Probably a monk that doesn't give a fuck about anything but himself and just fucking steamrolls through people. I want to make a character archetype like that. That would be fucking funny. Tachibana drama stream. I could do that, but it involves mana again, and mana gets on my fucking nerves. And I don't like to talk about communists too long. It drives me up the fucking wall dealing with that person. Although I have been collecting some stuff from her Discord. People have been delivering me some stuff from her Discord too. That VTuber, quote unquote, because that's what I'm gonna call her. Like, she has absolutely no knowledge of VTubing, even though she's been a VTuber for like how many years now? Like 3 more. She knows nothing about the scene. She understands the scene via stereotypes, which are mostly related to like fucking niche retards within the fandom, like, you know, unicorns and shit like that. That's how she understands VTubing, via this weird infantile way of thinking. She has absolutely no respect for the VTubing industry, and it really shows. Like, in her own fucking words, she doesn't respect the hobby, and she's been distancing. She's been distancing herself from the label of VTuber, and yeah, and the fact that she doesn't know what a Kamiyoshi is either is very strange. Like, she would at least encounter the Oshi fucking part. Her being like half Japanese, half Filipino, and actually living in Japan, and being a musician, you know, being an artist in that sphere, she would probably encountered it at some point in fucking time. But you know, when you're a weird fucking tanky that lives in her own fucking bubble, I can imagine she doesn't go outside of that bubble frequently, so she wouldn't probably know any of these fucking terms. I don't know if I would call her a fraud, because her music is generally good. Like, for the kind of vile shitter that Mana is, her music is actually genuinely good. Her music is of high quality, but it doesn't matter when the person behind it is that kind of person. Again, I did a stream on her. That the archives of it are still on the Kick archive thing, so you can watch that. My whole stream about her being a fucking communist and advocating violence against people, condoning fucking torture of prisoners of war, all kinds of vile shit. Generally praising violent acts. And you know, it's all irony, bro. But at one point, I don't think it's irony. I think she really fucking means it. And considering what I saw from her Discord, how gullible she is, I'm not very surprised she got into communism that promises people the sky and more. She's really not very smart. And being not very smart and having a huge fucking ego and being this narcissistic, because she is, it's all about her on her fucking Discord. It's not about other people, it's all about her. Anyone, like, let me bring you up a particular scene. I don't have the particular screenshots handy for this one, but let me give you some context. Like, she got into this drama with this music producer guy, right? And yeah, he apparently doxed her. You know, surprise, surprise, shitty people attract shitty people. And her chat on Discord, her imps, because that's what she calls her fandom. One of the dudes told her, what did he tell her? Like, in those exact words, I don't want to misconstrue what he told her. He mentioned her whole issues with particular music producer, and he said something. Oh, is that already over? I hope you are okay. And Mana went fucking off on him, like, are you dismissing what happened to me? Like, my fucking trauma and shit like that? Like, are you trying to romanticize my fucking problems? Shit like that. She is that kind of person that just goes off on people for the slightest perceived slights. You cannot challenge her or anything because she will just go ballistic. Instead of making a counter argument, she will instead resort to insults. First and foremost, you know, typical tanky, I guess you could say, just goes off the hinges whenever possible. But yeah, her fucking Discord is a treasure trove of fucking stupid shit. There's some stuff she and her people said about Rev today. Actually, before I end the stream, I think I can bring up a few screenshots from her Discord. Just to, you know, top it off, because if I'm gonna be talking about the Komi, might as well talk about the Komi. So give me a moment. I have a few Discord screenshots of her talking here. Just a few. The ones that where they talk about Rev is very telling what kind of people Mana surrounds herself with. Let's see. She mostly responds like a petulant child to all criticism of her. She never makes any poignant counter arguments, you know, that are directed at her. Never does. She just kind of laughs it off and pretends to be a girl boss. This 4'11" fucking gremlin that thinks she's better and that her shit doesn't stink. Hold up. Discord. Are these gonna be in the Are these gonna be in the right order? Her vetting system for her Discord is fucking fantastic too. You have to do like you are linked to like a Google questionnaire, and in it you pretty much have to do a fucking purity test. Like, do you believe this leftoid thing? Do you believe this leftoid thing? And you know, just click yes to everything. And that's her vetting process. Like, not abusable at all by people that want to fuck with her. No, Siri. I do like one of her rules on the Discord. The one about fucking violent alt-right symbols, which is POG. You know, the Twitch fucking emote, fucking POG. And fucking Pepe the Frog, because these are the symbols used by the violent alt-right. And she does not condone or support these kinds of symbols or people, because these people are violent and harmful. You know, but not the fucking communists, no. Not the people that have killed more people throughout human history than any other fucking ideology. No, these people are. There's some stuff on this fucking Discord, you know, like there's this one commie in there saying like, oh, you know, all ideologies have made mistakes, you know, and you know, it's the matter of how people fix these mistakes. So I guess commies have made a lot of oopsies over the fucking years to cost millions of people their fucking lives. And the funny part that this particular person called these mistakes, like a lot of that stuff, I would say fucking most of that stuff wasn't fucking deliberate and wasn't done with the intention of fucking killing people. You know, even when a fucking communist makes an honest mistake, people have to die for that mistake, and it's usually not the communist that dies for the mistake. It's other people that have to suffer because the communist made the mistake. Like the Great Leap Forward, oh, that was a huge fucking mistake, right? Like, oh, oopsie. Mao made a little oopsie, just cost millions of farmers their lives. Oh, fucking hell. Communist made an oopsie. I'm going on a tangent, but this is how I feel about this shit. Communist makes oopsies, millions of people die. Let me show you that Discord now. Fucking oopsie. Oh shit. I don't know how young people are so easily indoctrinated. They must be the easiest led on people in the fucking world to become a communist. Like, I understand like being promised like, you know, equality, everyone having work, a society that's equal to everybody, like the outcome of things is always gonna be equal, no one's ever gonna starve, shit like that. But these people don't understand basic things about human nature and the fact that scarcity exists, and in general people get in the way of anything like that prospering. Like, I don't know how hard you have to fall, and it's always younger people falling for that. It's so disappointing. Okay, that's the Kuma thing that Rev actually covered. And here's the Discord thing that I've prepared as I was ranting about communists making mistakes that cost people lives. Here's Mana's Discord. Oh shit, that's big. Hold up. Here's the rules for vetting system. All members except YouTube members are required to undergo a vetting system wherein one must answer a variety of questions that will then go through a series of deliberations. Mana, along with the moderators, will determine if one is worthy of being in the server or not. Worthy. Worthy of being in the server. That's the time when full imperms are gained. This is done to numerous instances of Nazi/alt-right trading, trolling, and betraying not only Mana. Like, imagine my surprise that a person like Mana is betrayed by someone, considering the way she behaves. But the whole community's trust, the community that we are hoping to build, promotes growth and social harmony, and this is one of the ways we chose to do in order to make that happen. And here's the link to the Google questionnaire that basically has all kinds of questions that leftoids would ask others in order to test their purity. Like basic stuff like, do you believe systematic racism is real and shit like that. Here's that post I was talking about, that Mana not condoning these violent alt-right symbols of Pog and Pepe the Frog. Here's Mana asking what the fuck is a Kamiyoshi, Godoshi? Idle speak, idle terms, as far as I know. Jesus Christ, pretty much. Like your favorite IG. So like Jesus Christ status, yeah. I don't know how she doesn't know this shit, being VTubing for so long. This one is funny as fuck. Hot take, but I have yet to see anyone in YouTube sphere write a good diss track. Have you listened to my song Enmity? Nope. Because I predicted everything that happened to Tachibana in that. Wait, why are you in my community? Ha ha ha. Communism. Oh, that makes sense. And then she laughs about it. That's so fucking funny. Why are you in my server? Communism. Here's Mana girl bossing on Twitter and then posting it to her Discord. You know, because when people cook her on Twitter, she just hides their replies and pretends that she's above all of this, that she's not bothered, that her butt isn't literally red with anger as she's getting fucking cooked by people from all sides. It's more of that. Again, she replies to all kinds of criticism of her with mockery instead of providing any kind of counter argument to anything. Who the hell is Ref says Desu? Channel like Falsai who does drama bullshit, yada yada. They mad. Or I blocked Ref, to be honest, the cringe was too much. And here's some talk about Rev. Anyway, I discourage everyone here to listen to that Rev guy. He's a chud. I fucking love when other people refer to people as chud. What the fuck is an actual chud? I only know the most annoying people use that insult. Get chud. Chuds raise up. And a prison sentence waiting to happen. What's with him? To put it, euphemistically. Jesus Christ, I can't speak. He's very pro-anime depictions of minors. You can do anything to fictional characters, so it's okay, and things like that. What does the law say on this one? I don't really know, actually. His VTuber model is based off Nico Yaza from Love Live, and he calls her his wife. If you do your own research on the guy, you'll find some proper nightmare fuel. I don't want to do a research, but I think I know what are you talking about. Still, the waifu thing isn't criminal until real shit is being involved. People who call a minor waifu should get some help. Now you can see what kind of people are in the Mana's server. Oh, thank you for the $5. I couldn't read that fast enough. I think I got that one on Streamlabs or something. I'll read it later. Sorry, it went by too fast. Bro, I don't tell some rando at him because they got their panties in a bunch from one of Mana's takes. That take was, Mana basically agreeing that, VTubers should not aim for escapism because, when you're on the internet, you're still part in reality, and the reality on fucking Twitter is so bad you cannot escape it. That was basically her take. That, escapism doesn't exist because you already live in the real world. Shit like that is exactly what happened. Yeah, it's one of where said that VTubers using VTubing as escapism is mostly impossible because of how a shit show the internet is. He thinks he's a bastion of morality when he loves diddling animated children in his thoughts. I like that she tries to make it a moral issue of what someone does to a fucking character that doesn't exist. She's this dumb. She's gonna decide Rev's morality based on the facts that he finds fucking anime characters hot. And there's more of that stuff. They got really mad with that one, as in referring to that take that she had. Rev is the type of American conservative that likes Russia and Japan because of the ways they remain illiberal. He wants to protect Japan from Western media standards so that any anime can keep making the things he likes without wokeism. There's so many things wrong in that sentence. I don't think Rev is a conservative. I think he has a lot of left-leaning opinions. But to a fucking tanky and commie, everything is a conservative and everything is right wing. And I don't think he likes Russia. I don't think I think Rev is a Russian fan. You can ask him about. So this person is just talking out of his ass. Japanese politics, aka Hirohito, did nothing wrong and Chinese deserved it. His beliefs literally colonized and enslaved on Koreans, for God's sakes. How is his politics somehow better than Mana's? Unless he's a Shinzo Abe dick sucker who denies Koreans fucking colonialism. How the fuck do these people decide what Rev actually believes without knowing what Rev actually believes? Like, most of them have probably never sampled any part of Rev's content. They probably don't even know what Rev talks about. But they already decided everything for him. Isn't Russia communistic at some point? I don't think he has opinions that deep, to be honest. He just weeps out and attacks people. Honestly, I like to believe that Rus government are suffering tremendously just by trying to tame Russian trickster spirit of something. I don't know what the last part of that was. I believe it slowly turns hardcore fascist. It scares me as fuck. I disagree. More right, yes. Borderline fascism? Nah. Oh, Russia isn't fascism? That's fucking funny. Nah, the biggest fashion is Eastern Europe at the moment is Poland. Yeah, Poland, that country that has taken in millions of fucking refugees from Ukraine. That's the fascist country that opens borders to people in need. They're fucking neighbors. Holy fuck, man. Try to go a little bit east. Just like one country over Poland. You'll see some fascist. You'll see some genuine fascist. The Belarusians and the Russians. Holy fuck. How do you take leaps like this? Polish people hate commies as much as they hate Nazis. Both of them fucked them hard. And the sentiment runs very deep. Trust me. Even the way the Polish government is right now, it's nowhere near what you would consider a fascist fucking government. It's a very incompetent and retarded government for sure, but nowhere near what fucking Belarus and Russia have. This is a fucking stretch and a reach. And he has the audacity to talk over you being actually Japanese? I never watched the video, so... Wait, Mana, since when have you been back on Twitter? LOL. Oh yeah, she got banned on Twitter, then she got reinstated. Which is unfortunate because she just acts all petulant on Twitter. And keeps on girl bossing. It's always a good day when Twitter people mouths at something. The tweet was literally just an afterthought. There was way too much escapism going on in this sphere. Oh, entertainment. The entertainment industry has escapism in it. People are there to escape the drudgery of their daily lives. Oh, got to bring it back to fucking political talk because, you know, VTubers apparently have a responsibility. If they have a platform, they have to talk about... And let's be fucking honest, this is about American politics. This is not about worldwide politics. Do you think any of these fucking retards actually know what goes on in the world beyond the fucking sphere of what America fucking does? And, you know, tidbits here and there about Russia and Ukraine without actually, you know, living there or being close to it, not knowing shit about it? Fuck me. That's the kind of mindset. Also, how again, it's hard to actually use VTubing as escapism or need to have their content be full escapism for people since their problems seeping in the VTuber community to make it fully the case. You know, these problems come from the people saying there are problems. Like, they create the problems. They are creating self-fulfilling prophecies. These political activists, they create the fucking problems within this sphere. No one else is doing it. When you encounter trolls, when you encounter racist trolls like in your fucking chats, instead of incentivizing them, giving them attention, you know, and banning them, instead they go on fucking Twitter and complain about it, activating them even more. And with that, they do more and more. And the problems keep increasing because in case of, you know, effectively fighting racist trolls and all kinds of abusers during your fucking streams, you instead feel the obligation to make a PSA on social media saying how wronged you were and what kind of victim you are. These people genuinely think that on the internet, if you tell someone to stop, they're going to stop. You really need to wake up. Smell the fucking daisies and realize that you do not fight internet battles like this, especially if you're some kind of content creator and entertainer. If you give trolls the attention they desire, they're just gonna be doing more instead of less. Starve trolls of their content. Like, do not fucking respond or make content out of them so they are seen as ridiculous instead of, you know, constantly victimizing yourself. These people aren't going away. You cannot shame them by telling them, like, don't do this stuff. Makes me uncomfortable, makes me angry and whatnot. You just do not fight it. Not fight it that way. You need to learn to ignore these people. Like, if there's a genuine troll, like, say, I've seen many of those. Just, you know, guy goes into your chat, spams the N-word a bunch of times. Instead of just outright banning them the second they start doing that, your typical VTuber has the mental endurance of fucking styrofoam, is gonna interrupt the stream, is gonna pay attention to the troll, and then they're gonna make their PSA, as I was saying on social media, saying, don't do this in my chat, this is so disrespectful to me and my feelings and my audience. I've seen so many posts like this going around. Like, please realize that you're just feeding them. Internet is not that hard. I know you feel insulted, you feel disrespected and shit like that, but there's an effective way of dealing with trolls, and then there's what you're doing, which is just, you know, creating the problem, making it worse. But yeah, let's go back to fucking Mana's Discord for a second. But yeah, these people do not believe that escapism is a thing in VTubing because, you know, issues of the real world seep into VTubing. No. Issues of the real world do not seep into VTubing. It's fuckers like you that bring it there. It's always the same fucking people too. Like, it's always the same few people that do this. Like, the very loud minority that consistently shits themselves about things that do not fucking matter. Things that do not matter but to them. Like, one of my favorite ones was this... this was a while back. I even made a short video on that. This person saw the Star of David in, like, someone's fucking VTuber layout and felt disrespected. Like, how dare you include that in the fucking in your VTuber layout? Please fucking remove, please change. And it was just some fucking star. Was not the Star of David whatsoever. And even if it was, what? Is that supposed to disrespect Jewish people just because it's there? That's the sort of people we're talking about here. These are the problems these people have. They see something they made up in their minds, and then they make a call-out post about it. Very likely for attention, because, you know, it gets them the dopamine fix. I guess they're required to go on with their daily lives. And once they hit that dopamine hit, they go off. And other people like them come to their aid, saying how offended they are on their behalf. I'm sorry this happened to you. Like, I'm sorry you saw the Star of David in someone's fucking VTuber layout. To you as a Jewish person, and to me as a Jewish person, this is so disrespectful. How dare they make the symbol of our religion into a fashion accessory? It's so disrespectful. My ancestors are fucking rolling in their graves. Imagine if people of old had issues with that just because you saw a vaguely Star of David looking star, and you absolutely lost your mind about it. Insane. And then she talks more about escapism. Exactly, in fact, I need escape from VTubing, LMAO. I fucking hate this community at large, not gonna lie. Well, I'm at least happy you're honest about it. Like, get the fuck out then. Like, leave. Do not talk about VTubers ever again. Be your fucking musician. Take off your fucking avatar. Like, Mana shows her fucking real life appearance all the fucking time. Like, become that in real life musician again. Like, remove yourself from VTubing completely if you hate it so much. Why engage in it, like, at all? If you're so, if that's your approach to it. Honestly, I think also because VTuber fans can handle bluntness and need their VTuber takes sugar-coated to make it digestible. This too, their sense of self are so tied to their consumption, they don't know who they are outside of the things they consume. Said the communist that, lives by the creed of everything red is good. And shit like that. That kind of creed, that kind of belief that makes you condone violent acts, makes you glorify millions that died, makes you undermine war crimes, makes you undermine genocides. And she's the one talking about not, having a sense of self tied to consumption. She's fully consumed by communism. And she dares to criticize people that just want to enjoy their hobby in fucking peace. What a fucking basket case she is. And I'm sure she's gonna have more of these as time goes by. The person that keeps on delivering this to me, thank you very much for these. These are honestly very funny. And I'm glad to see that she's just as awful in her Discord, probably even more awful than that, as she is on Twitter. I don't know how anyone can have like a serious relationship with her, be it friendly or otherwise, if this is how she behaves, like a fucking child all the time. I hate everything. That's why I'm gonna go and shit on it. I'm gonna misconstrue your favorite hobby. I'm gonna misconstrue the people that are in this hobby and shit on it wholesale. And then I'm gonna complain that I do not feel welcome and I do not feel any ties to VTubing because VTubing is so bad. What a bitch. I don't know what else to say about her. Like, just, what a bitch. God damn, I went long. This was supposed to be a shorter stream, but whenever a commie needs to be talked about, I'm gonna talk about a commie, I guess. There are bad apples in VTubing, both in VTubers and VTuber fans, for sure. But Mana takes it a few steps too far, and she just misconstrues the whole hobby and the whole industry, the whole fandom of it. Don't fucking know. This is just stupid. And we reached the end of the line of the stupid. And I have more stupid probably tomorrow. We'll see. Not in terms of streaming, in terms of making videos. I have my own personal goals set that do not, well, for the most part, do not involve dealing with VTuber matters. I want to take care of some stuff, and that like requires my full attention. I've got some serious training to do actually, and that requires more of my time than less of my time. On top of that, there's work to be done, and I cannot abandon my duties. Work comes before anything else. All of this is just pleasure. All of this is just spending time with people shit talking. Other stupid people. But yeah, that's everything for now. I hope you enjoyed this weird vacation recap that I had. Now we can go to a barbecue place in New York City. That's the only positive out of it. I don't know when the next stream is gonna be. I don't know what it's gonna be about. There's a few juicy things out there, but again, these would require some preparations. I don't know how much time I have for these preparations. Making my normal like YouTube content. Oh wow, I can say that I have normal YouTube content. Like it's like I'm a YouTuber or some shit. It takes literally like a few minutes out of my day. Uploading it also takes a few minutes. Just talking about it also takes a few minutes. So it's not that much strain on my schedule. But yeah, I'm glad you guys came to see me back to this fucking nonsense. Back to communists and back to VTubers shitting themselves. under themselves. What a fucking content this is. I can't say that I do not enjoy it because it's so ridiculous. Laughing at these people sometimes. The lengths some of these people go to in order to be unhinged on fucking Twitter.com, now known as X.com, I guess, and in other places. But yeah, I hope you guys stay good. I hope you have a good rest of your day, of your night, whatever. I hope you stay off X, of Twitter, unless you go to Twitter for porn, because that's important. You should always go for Twitter for porn. If you want some high quality fucking 2D porn, go to my likes. That's the good place. That's the high quality content right there. Stay hydrated because it's summer in most places around the world, unless you live in Australia or any similar place like that has winter right now. And be good to one another, because these people sure as fuck can't. And I'm gonna play you off with something good, which is another good part of my streams, the music, which never misses. I'll see you guys whenever I see you. Bye bye and take care.